two-state solution is impossible for Israel and Palestine. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Or maybe the UK House of Lords should cease to exist. Now you're going to have to live with this for like the next 12 weeks. So a question that captivates the mind, that you wish to explore.
Is this essentially like an associate's level thesis that we're doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, associate's level thesis. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah. This isn't going to be beyond 10 pages, double spaced, so nobody start freaking out about it. All right. Like you would say, you have been talking about Canada for weeks now.
Yes.
Do you have something that you might have about Canada?
I would say like, why are special powers only devolved to Quebec?
Okay.
Because Quebec has so many powers that the other provinces don't get.
So could you put that in the form of a statement like this?
So,
Because we're going to do something. I'm wording it like this because we're going to eventually turn this into a debate.
oh, I see.
Yeah. So think about that, Douglas.
Does our thesis statement, for lack of better terms, have to be on our country that we've picked?
No.
Or just literally
No.
anything?
Literally anything. We're workshopping this in class right now, so I can tell you if something isn't going to work, and you don't come to me in 6 or 8 weeks with a paper that is I'm being recorded. So not great.
We don't have to like zero in 100% commit today. We have time.
You don't have to commit today, but we're going to come up with a list of acceptable topics, and students in past classes have tended to choose from this list. But you don't in any way have to. Yeah.
So, I'll answer your question then. Quebec should not be given any special rights or privileges.
Okay. I'm just gonna spell this. Oh, privileges. Okay, that's good. This has always been a popular one. Democracy is the greatest form of government. Students have had very strong opinions about this one in the past. And they've also, last semester I had an honors section of this class, and they substituted socialism in for that. So forms of government too. Anybody else have any sort of ideas? Any of these are fair game for any of you. All right. So I've given you 4 that you could choose from if you want.
Communism leads to societal and economic collapse.
Okay. Leads to, what'd you say?
Societal and economic collapse.
Okay. Anything else? And again, it doesn't have to be on your country. It's just on your mind if it's something you're wondering about. This is one of my higher level classes. You know, I treat you guys with a little bit more sternly, I guess, so to speak, than my 115 and 119 classes. Yes.
I'll use the English word because I don't know
So what you're going to do for Thursday, and even those of you who are absent, come in with a research question, phrased like this, phrased as a thesis statement. We're gonna go over them in class, right? So I can make sure you're all on the right track. And we'll go from there. I'll have the paper requirements for you and all that. If not Thursday, then the following Tuesday. Now, what we're eventually going to do, this is part one of the project anyway. You can pick anything you like. But we're going to narrow down one question, narrow down to one statement. Right? So let's just say democracy is the greatest form of government. And we're gonna have team democracy and team something else. Team something else. And we're gonna have a debate at the end of the class, which may or may not, which may be your final, may be your final. We're gonna have a debate at the end of the class over this whatever question you pick. I usually try to get a couple faculty, whoever else wants to sit in on this. This is,
So,
you're looking at me like this. This is nothing to freak out about. Students have survived this now for 4 semesters. You can too.
is the
Alright.
paper essentially the midterm and then the debate would be the final?
No, the paper is the paper.
Okay.
I have something else in
Okay,
mind for the
I just
midterm.
wasn't sure.
No,
Yeah.
I have something else in mind for the midterm, but these two things are in the syllabus at the very bottom. You know, we get around to it when we get around to it, and we're ready.
Come on, I love a good debate.
Yeah, we're gonna have one after you write your papers and turn in all the stuff. Now, what they did last semester, what the classes did last semester is they all really liked socialism is the greatest form of government, so I partnered them off. And he wrote one side, he wrote the other side of that proposition, and then they did the debate that way. They took all their research for socialism is the greatest form of government, and socialism is not. And they did the debate, and it was easier that way for them. So, I mean, if you wanted to do that, but this is largely up to you as a class. It's self-directed, I guess, so to speak. I don't get involved too much in this unless you're grossly going outside the parameters of what I'm wanting. Any questions, comments, concerns, or threats? No?
No.
No? All right. If you want to just set that up so it is vaguely facing me and
Okay.
come back to your seat,
That
that'd
works.